Hey everybody! Today's video I'm going to be showing you how to get rid of the demarcation line when you are growing out your natural hair from a heavy highlighted blonde. In the before you can see I had about 2 inches of outgrowth, and then in the after it is just a softer blend like a root smudge. I did this in 2 different steps. You can go ahead and do it in one if you want, but I just figured showing you guys in 2 steps would be easier. Let's go ahead and get started. The color I used to do this is Paul Mitchell the Demi in the level 7 PA, which is a pearl ash. I am naturally about a level 6, so I did go down 1 level, so it did not go too dark. And this color is a gel-like consistency. So you can see here the line of demarcation, and I'm going to be taking the lowlights about 2 inches below that. I left about 1.5 to 2 inches around my hairline because I do want to keep it a little bit blonder around my face. I then sectioned out about 1.5 inches of a section. You can go lower with the lowlights if you want, but I focused just around my part. Go ahead and clip off the extra hair, and then you just want to take a thin section to weave out your lowlight. I recommend doing fine to a medium weave and staying away from a chunkier weave, so taking smaller sections. This is just going to help blend out the demarcation line a little bit further. I am using a foil to lowlight my hair out, so you can see that I am just using a small foil here and folding it under my comb. And then you want to avoid putting the color on your natural if you are trying to grow it out. So you can see that I am just applying the color right at the demarcation line horizontally and then going in vertically and blending it up and then down a few inches. So you can see here I am telling you, do not put it on your natural, only go from the demarcation line and lower. You can go ahead and put it on your natural if you want. It shouldn't do a whole lot, but when you are trying to grow out your natural, there is no point in putting color on it if you can avoid it. Using a demi-permanent hair color is only going to deposit the color onto your hair. So putting it on your natural should not shift your base, but I always like to avoid it just in case, because if it does happen to shift your base even a little bit, it can create warmth. I did the exact same thing to the next few sections, and because I am only focusing around my part line, I only have a few foils on each side. So you just want to do the exact same thing and let down a small section of hair, and then taking that small section, you just want to do a fine to medium weave with a few lowlights. Again, making sure to avoid your natural hair color and just going from that demarcation line a few inches down. I do have medium length hair, so if you have short hair or medium length, I recommend only going about 2 inches down with your low light. If your hair is on the longer side, you could probably get away with doing your low lights a little bit further down, but I do not recommend doing a full low light. I would keep it closer to a half low light. That way your ends can still stay blonde and you can grow out your natural while still being blonde. Moving on to the last section for this side, and because I usually part in the same area, I am really focusing on doing the lowlights as perfectly as possible here. Because we are only doing a few on each side, you do want to pay attention to how you are lowlighting, and you want to try to make it as even as possible. So again, just doing the exact same thing, avoiding my natural hair color and just going from that demarcation line down a couple of inches. And like I said, you do want to go in horizontally and then go in vertically to feather in the low light so that there are no harsh lines. Because I want the hair around my face to be blonder, I took a small section out right by my part and clipped that away. And then the hair right around by my ear, I held out away from my head and did a few lowlights there as well. Because I am trying to keep the hair around my face blonder, I did not take the low light around my face any farther down. I took it instead of 2 inches, about 1 inch to 1.5 inches down. This way, when I pull my hair back, the hair around my face will be lighter. Just like I showed you, I did the exact same thing for this last section on the side, just holding the hair up and away from my head, and then avoiding the really blonde pieces around my face and just going in and doing a fine weave and only going about 1 inch to 1.5 inches down with the low light. Once I have this section done, I did a few foils in the back as well as on the other side. And once you have all of your foils in, you just want to process for the full processing time. And here are the results of the lowlights. You can see that it is better blended, but there is still a demarcation line. I went in and did a root smudge with the same color, the Demi 7PA, and did the exact same sectioning. And you can see here that I am placing the color horizontally right on that demarcation line, avoiding my natural hair color. I'm only taking it about 1 inch down and blending it out with a comb once I have the color placed. I take down the next section and do the exact same thing. And because I'm trying to keep it blonder around my face, I basically only tap the hair that is around my face and then go a little bit further the farther back I go. So you can see that I place the color horizontally and then go in vertically just to blend the line further. And again, going in with my comb and combing that color down a little bit further. That will also help blend the demarcation line. So doing the exact same thing, as you can see, I'm just going right where that demarcation line is and feathering in the color just to knock out that harsh line. I obviously did this process in 2 separate steps. If you want to do the steps together so you are only doing one process, I recommend doing this root smudge first and then going in and doing lowlights if you want some of the color to go down even further. Sometimes when you do your hair at home, doing it in different steps is easier, so whichever works for you, go ahead and do that. I just wanted to give you guys 2 options. If I were not filming this, I would have done it all in one step, but because I wanted to give you guys an easier option, I went ahead and did it in 2 different processes. So you can see that I am doing the exact same thing on the other side, just placing the color down horizontally and barely tapping it around my hairline, and then going in vertically to blend even further, and then again going in with my comb so that there are no harsh lines. I did the exact same thing for the last section, and once you have all of your color placed, go ahead and let it process for the full time. And here I am just showing you that it will stay blonder around your face if you only tap the color in right in the front of your hairline. And here is what my hair looked like after I did that root smudge. So you can see that the demarcation line is gone and it is a lot better blended into my natural hair while still keeping my ends blonde. I hope this video was helpful for you guys on how to get rid of a demarcation line when going from a highlighted blonde to growing out your natural hair while still staying blonde. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, go ahead and leave those down below in the comment section. I will be happy to help you guys out. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I hope you stick around and subscribe. I hope you all have an awesome day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, everybody.